Good morning, everybody. This is Sandra from HippoLogic, and today I want to talk to you about how you can prevent your horse from spooking. And I shared a video in my Happy Herd Facebook group that showed me working with my horse Kira, and I was working at Liberty, and I had two mats, and in between the mats I had a jump. And then at a certain point in the video, you can see that Kira spooks. And what happens is that she runs toward her mat right away. She doesn't run to me, she runs toward her mat. And why does she do that? Well, first of all, I trained her to stand on a mat. That's called key lesson mat training. And the mat has been reinforced positively for hundreds and hundreds of times. So the mat equals calm behavior and positive things like treats and also a break maybe, which is really positive for a horse that is energy saving horse, that is more a wall horse than a go horse, so to say. Hi Donna, it's so nice to see you here. Good morning. And so the question is, can you prevent your horse from spooking? Yes, you can. How do you do that? Well, if you know what to pay attention to, you can often see it coming, and then you can anticipate on it. And if you are in the moment, it's of course way more difficult than when you watch a video or when you see somebody else riding a horse that is about to explode and spook, because there are lots of signs, and if you know how to read the signs, and if you do it more and more often, you become more and more experienced in it, and it can be done. In my 8-week online course, the Ultimate Horse Training Formula, there's a whole formula about emotions in training. In fact, it's one of the key lessons for trainers. Your key to success if you know how to deal with all kinds of emotions. In the course, we are talking not only about equine emotions, but also emotions in the trainer itself, like frustration and fear and anxiety and feeling like a failure and all that kind of things, and also how to celebrate, because happiness is an emotion too. So today I want to talk to you about trigger tagging. In the video that I shared where I work with, hi Donna, I'm here for my weekly fix. Well, here I am serving you. If you have any questions, please let me know, because then I can answer them right away for you, Donna. So today I want to talk to you about trigger stacking. In that video that I showed where I worked with Kira at Liberty, it was winter. I remember it was like stormy weather, and horses are already a little bit more nervous in windy weather. And besides that, there was something going on. I think they were trying to trailer load a horse outside the arena with traditional or natural horsemanship methods that didn't go well. So there was a horse that was panicking, and Kira picked that up. So in that corner where the camera stands, she didn't want to go there. And at that point, like a few years ago, I didn't really know how to deal with it. I could already see it, that she became more nervous and nervous, but I didn't know what to do. So I ignored it because I didn't know what to do. Now I know, so I'm here to share it with you. So what happens with trigger stacking? That's a term that we use in animal training, and that's when there's a trigger and the horse gets a little bit anxious, and then the anxiety is not dealt with. It's not released from the body, so it stays in. So the horse is already a little bit anxious, and then something else happens. It's not really a big deal, but it's, again, another trigger, and the triggers stack and stack and stack until they come to the threshold. And if they come over threshold, something happens. The horse, the body has to release it, and something happens. And usually the horse bolts or runs away, or in the video you can see Kira is running away, she's farting, bolting, and then she wants to get away. And then that's the release of all these emotions. So that's the trigger stacking, and that's the threshold. And if the horses go over threshold, you can clearly see that there's something happening. And lots of people only recognize it when the horse is going over threshold. But there are so many signs that you can already see that there's trigger stacking happening, and then you can take action, and then you can prevent the horse from going over threshold, and you can keep them under threshold. And it's way more pleasant, because I don't have to explain that. It's way more pleasant than that you get so fearful that you feel the need to run away or do something, right? So let's see. Yeah. So in the video where I work with Kira at Liberty, it's a good thing that I didn't do anything. So I have it on video, and it's such a good example of Kira getting over threshold. Now it was so beautiful because she was at Liberty. She could do whatever she wanted to do, and she chose to go to her stationary target, the mat. And I've heard lots and lots of stories about horses that have stationary targets that have been reinforced lots and lots of times, and that if something fearful is happening, they go to their target because they feel safe at their target. It's like a safety blanket for them because it has been reinforced in a positive way over and over again. And also the emotions attached to the mat are probably calm, pleasant, relaxed associations. So that's why she ran to the mat. So in this video, what I could have done was I could have just let her explore the sounds and let her deal with them instead of ignoring them. Or I could have taken the mats a little bit more to the other side of the arena where she felt more safe. Let's see if I have everything covered that I wanted to tell you about trigger stacking. So, and it's not only fear that will trigger stack. It can also happen with frustration or other emotions. Arousal, every emotion can trigger stack, and then they can push the horse over threshold, and then there will be kind of explosion in behavior, and it will be very, very clear that all these little steps led to one certain behavior. And let's keep it to spooking, and then the horse spooks because he cannot handle the anxiety that has built up in his body, so he has to release it. But also trigger stacking can appear with all other behaviors. So what you can do about it is reading the signals of your horse, reading his body language, and also anticipating, because you know, for instance, what will cause fear in your horse. So if your horse is fearful for unfamiliar things, and there's a flag somewhere, and then there's another flag, and then there's a garbage can that he never seen, then you can already anticipate on it, like, okay, there's something that is unfamiliar, I see him tense up, and then there's another thing, and then there's another thing. And instead of thinking what so many people think, it's like, oh, he has seen that garbage can over and over again, because the garbage can is maybe in a different place, or the lid is next to the garbage can and it looks different. That can just get the horse over threshold. But if you can see that he's already tensing up, then it's your job as a trainer to let him release those fears. And there's many ways of doing that, but I don't have time because I'm already talking for 10 minutes to go into that into detail, but I do go into that into detail in my course, so that you can release those fears. And often one of the things is just let the horse explore the fearful thing and reinforce that exploration behavior, reinforce that he's going to investigate the garbage can or the plastic bag or whatever it is that causes a little bit of tension. And then once you've seen it, the next time you recognize it sooner. And then the next time you recognize it sooner. And then after a few times you recognize it and you can think, I know what to do. I have to give my horse the opportunity to explore this fearful thing, so his anxiety can be released from his body. And that's how we all learn. We have to hear it over and over and over again, and then we have to implement it, and then we implement a little bit, and then more and more until we know what to do. So if you want to learn more about emotions in training, and how to deal with equine emotions and with your own emotions, like fear or frustration, or whatever you encounter in training, sign up for my Ultimate Horse Training Formula. We start October 10th. If you sign up before August 10th, then you get almost $100 discount. If you are on my newsletter list, I have put a link in the description of this video where you can sign up for my newsletter. If you sign up, then you get a 10% discount for the course that is valid until August 10th. And this course is there's so much information in it that it's way too much to you can learn all the theory in 8 weeks, but you cannot implement everything in 8 weeks. So I offer this course twice a year, and once you sign up, you can have lifetime access to all the courses. Every time I offer this course, you are invited to join again. You can join with another horse, or you can go over all the exercises with your horse, and you can improve and improve and improve until you don't feel the need anymore to be in the course, and then you can do it all by yourself, because that's my goal for you, that you can do it without me. Thank you very much for watching. Let's see. Yeah, it's the same for us humans, Donna. You are totally right. I've thought about all the trigger stacking that happens in us, and it happens all the time to me. Then something happens in the morning, and then I get into traffic, and then it builds up over the whole day if I don't do my meditation and release it. And then when my husband comes home, he doesn't, I don't know, do a simple thing like, I don't know, locking the door. I'm like, I'm over threshold. And it's totally unreasonable, because the thing that was the drop, that wasn't really the cause of exploding. Let's see. Donna says, I think this happens when we change location too. Lots of elements. It's life in Italy, lol. Yeah, when you change location, what happens is horses learn in a certain context. The whole context, the environment, is so much part of learning that if you change the environment, everything has changed already. And the same happens in us if we practice a little dance at home or in our class, it's totally fine. Or we practice for a dressage test in our lessons, it's totally fine. But then we change locations and we change the whole context. There's suddenly an audience. We are in a different place. We are on stage, or we are in the arena with a horse where we perform the dressage test. So many things changed, and it's all triggers, like the horse first before doing the dressage test or whatever test you're doing. The horse has to be in a trailer. That can cause anxiety. The handler is often already very nervous because maybe he or she has to braid the horse, and there's so much to do before the test, and then it triggers and triggers and triggers, and then you have two egos, the horse and the handler, that are trigger stacking, and they feed off of each other's nervousness, so that won't help. But there are techniques to keep yourself and your horse under threshold, and it's a matter of practicing that, and also start with recognizing the emotions, and do not ignore them. If there is fear in your horse, or you see hesitation, even if it's like a little bit, just notice it and keep that in mind, because if that happens again, it's a little trigger, it's a little trigger. And if you don't release the emotions, they can build up. And we don't want that, because we want to keep our horses and ourselves under threshold, because we want to stay safe. Because horse training and riding needs to be fun for both horse and human. Nice to see you, Carol. Oh, I didn't even have my microphone, but apparently the microphone of my laptop is good enough for you to hear me. I forgot all about it. That's still learning. Thank you very much for being here. If there are any questions, just type them in, and I can answer them for you. No questions? Awesome. Then if you do have questions, just put them under in the comments, and I will answer them later on. Thank you for being here, Donna and Caro. It was so much fun for you seeing me on my live video. It means a lot to me. Thank you very much, and I'll see you later, everybody. Happy horse training. Bye.